Rolly Romero has once again captured the attention of the boxing world, this time with a training video that has sparked widespread discussion among fans, analysts, and even fellow boxers. Initially intended as a promotional piece to build hype for his upcoming fight against Ryan Garcia, the clip has morphed into something far more significant, a polarizing spectacle that has dominated recent conversations in the sport. What started as a routine attempt to drum up excitement has evolved into a full-blown controversy, with many now questioning whether Romero's unconventional approach might pose a greater challenge to Garcia than anyone had anticipated. Some are even speculating that Garcia, despite his outward confidence, might be quietly rattled by Romero's presence. The video itself is a curious blend of chaos and intrigue. At first glance, it showcases Romero doing what he's known for, training to unleash his devastating power. But as you watch more closely, his technique begins to stand out for its oddity. His punches, hooks and jabs alike, arc in wide, looping motions, almost reckless in their delivery. To the untrained eye, it might look impressive, but fans and analysts were quick to point out the flaws. Unpolished was a word thrown around frequently, with many arguing that such wild swings could leave Romero vulnerable to counters from a fighter like Garcia, whose sharp, precise strikes are his calling card. Yet, beneath the criticism of his form lies an undeniable truth. Romero's raw power remains a force to be reckoned with. It's the kind of strength that can end a fight in an instant, and that alone keeps him in the conversation as a dangerous opponent. Social media erupted in the wake of the video's release, with fans offering a mix of skepticism and cautious optimism. "He looks like a street fighter throwing haymakers," one commenter noted, while another predicted, "If Rolly can't tighten up his form, Garcia will pick him apart." The consensus seems to lean toward doubt about Romero's ability to hang with the elite, particularly against someone with Garcia's speed and skill. Still, a smaller but vocal group of supporters clings to the belief that his unrefined talent could be his trump card. All it takes is one clean shot, they argue, and Garcia's night is over. This dichotomy, power versus precision, has become the central narrative of the fight, setting the stage for a clash that could hinge on which fighter imposes their will first. Adding fuel to the fire is Oscar de la Hoya, Garcia's promoter and a seasoned voice in the boxing world. In a recent interview with Boxing Scene, de la Hoya weighed in on the matchup, offering a measured but pointed take. "Rolly can punch like a mule, and Ryan's been off for a year," he said, highlighting two critical factors, Romero's knockout potential and Garcia's potential ring rust. De la Hoya's comments underscore a reality that Garcia's camp can't ignore. Time away from the ring can dull even the sharpest fighters, and facing a heavy hitter like Romero after such a layoff is no small task. For all the talk of a blockbuster rematch with Devin Haney down the line, this fight is the one that matters now. It's a pivotal moment that could either propel Garcia back to the top of the lightweight division or stall his momentum entirely. Garcia, at 24, carries the weight of high expectations. Groomed as a star from early in his career, he's long been seen as a future face of boxing. His speed, charisma, and knockout power have made him a fan favorite, but this bout against Romero represents a crossroads. A win keeps him on track for bigger fights and brighter lights. A loss could expose cracks in his armor and derail his carefully built trajectory. De la Hoya's cautionary words linger in the air. Anything can happen in boxing, and this is no different. Garcia might be the betting favorite, but Romero's unpredictability ensures that no one can write him off completely. Romero, for his part, remains unfazed by the chatter surrounding his training video. The criticism of his technique, sloppy, wild, unorthodox, doesn't seem to rattle him. If anything, he leans into it, embracing the narrative that his style, while unconventional, could be his edge. "Ryan's quick, but he's not invincible," Romero said in a recent interview, exuding confidence in his ability to land the kind of punch that could turn the fight on its head. He's not wrong to believe in his power. His record speaks to his ability to finish fights. But the question remains whether that strength can overcome Garcia's technical superiority, especially if Romero's wide-open swings leave him exposed. The psychological dimension of this matchup adds another layer of intrigue. Romero brings an air of chaos to the ring that's hard to prepare for. He's not a by-the-book fighter, and that unpredictability has been a hallmark of his career. Garcia, by contrast, has been molded for greatness, a polished product of years of hype and development. Yet, there's a sense that he might be underestimating Romero, focusing too much on the bigger picture, namely, a potential Haney rematch, rather than the immediate threat in front of him. If Garcia isn't fully locked in, Romero's sheer force could catch him off guard. Let's be real, A Tank-Crawford fight is a logistical nightmare. Tank's a natural 135-pounder who's flirted with 140 but never gone higher. Crawford's a welterweight king who's talking about moving to 154. The size difference is glaring. Tank's power is devastating at lightweight, but how would it hold up against a bigger, stronger Crawford? And Crawford's never been one to cut weight for anyone. He's made it clear Tank would have to come to him. He wants to dare to be great. Let him move up like the legends do, Crawford said, throwing down the challenge. Tank, for his part, has scoffed at the idea. He's got a glass chin, he's claimed. I'd tap that chin at 147 and watch him fold. The fans, though, they don't care about the details. They want to see Tank's explosive power tested against Crawford's elite defense. They want to know if Crawford's icy precision can handle Tank's one-punch knockout threat. They want to see who cracks first when the stakes are through the roof. Most of all, they want to know who walks away with the crown, because right now, both fighters have something to prove. Tank's the young lion trying to cement his legacy. Crawford's the established king looking to remind everyone why he's number one. But here's where it gets complicated. Tank's aura took a massive hit recently, and it's changed the stakes. His fight against Lamont Roach was supposed to be another highlight reel knockout, a chance to flex his dominance. Instead, it was a disaster. Roach, a skilled but underrated contender, didn't just hang with Tank, he outworked him. Round after round, Roach landed crisp shots, targeted the body, and showed heart Tank couldn't match. Then came the ninth. A combo from Roach sent Tank stumbling, his glove grazing the canvas. The ref didn't call it a knockdown, but the optics were brutal. Tank looked mortal, vulnerable, and for the first time, beatable. Roach walked away with the win, and the boxing world erupted. Tank tried to shrug it off. I thought I did enough, he said, blaming everything from greasy hair to bad luck, but the excuses didn't stick. Crawford pounced. On live TV, he called the knockdown real, said Roach got robbed of a bigger moment, and tore into Tank's hype. He got exposed, Crawford said, twisting the knife. All that talk, and he couldn't back it up. Tank had no comeback. The loss wasn't just a blemish, it was an earthquake, shaking his reputation to its core. Now, a fight with Crawford isn't just a dream matchup, it's a lifeline. If Tank wants to silence the doubters and reclaim his spot at the top, he needs a statement win. Beating Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, would do that and more. But Crawford's not making it easy. He's laid out a roadmap. Beat Keyshawn Davis first, he said, tossing out a name that's no pushover. Keyshawn's a rising star at 140, backed by Floyd Mayweather, trained with purpose, and hungry for a scalp like Tank's. If Tank takes the challenge and wins, it sets the stage for Crawford perfectly. If he ducks it, the narrative flips. He's scared, he's dodging, he's not what he claims to be. And then there's Floyd Mayweather, the wild card in all this. Floyd's ties to Tank are complicated. Mentor turned rival, big brother turned shadow. They've split, but Floyd's influence lingers. Keyshawn trains with him, Crawford respects him, and Tank's still trying to step out from under his legacy. Floyd knows I'm passing him, Tank said, hinting at a deal bigger than anything Floyd ever signed. But Floyd's watching, possibly plotting. He's the bridge between these worlds, and his next move could tip the scales. This beef is far from over. Tank's got a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove. Crawford's got the throne and no intention of giving it up. Their live TV clash was just a taste, verbal haymakers flying, egos bruised, and a promise of more to come. If this fight happens, it's not just about belts or bragging rights. It's about redemption, legacy, and settling a score that's gone way beyond the ring. The boxing world's holding its breath, because if Tank and Bud step into that squared circle, it could be one of the most electrifying showdowns in years. Who's got the edge? Tank's power or Crawford's skill? The kid with everything to gain, or the king with nothing to lose? One thing's for sure, this isn't ending quietly.